welcome to Morning Vibes with Dr. Jerry the First, episode 167. This Tuesday, 27th day of February 2018. My name's Dr. Jerry the First Oguzie, and still in the spirit of discussing success and successful people, today I am considering 12 outstanding things successful people do differently. I've always been fascinated by people who are consistently successful at what they do, especially those who experience repeated success in many areas of their lives throughout their lifetime. In entertainment, I think of Clint Eastwood and Oprah Winfrey. In business, I think of Steve Jobs and Warren Buffett. We all have our own examples of super successful people like those who we admire. But how do they do it? Over the years, I've studied the lives of numerous successful people. I've read their books, I've watched their interviews, I've researched them online. And I've learned that most of them were not born into success. They simply did and continue to do things that help them realize their full potential. Here are 12 things they do differently that the rest of us can easily emulate. They create and pursue SMART goals. Successful people are objective. They have realistic targets in mind. They know what they're looking for and why they're fighting for it. Successful people create and pursue SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So let's briefly look at each of them. Specific. A general goal would be, in 2018, I want to get in shape. I want to lose weight. But a related specific goal would be, in 2018, I want to lose weight, I want to get in shape by joining a health club and doing a workout at least 3 days a week for the next 52 weeks. So a specific goal has a far greater chance of being accomplished because it has defined parameters and constraints. M for measurable. There must be a logical system for measuring the progress of a goal. To determine if your goal is measurable, ask yourself questions like, how much time, how many in total, how will I know when the goal is accomplished? When you measure your progress, you stay on track, reach your target dates, and experience the exhilaration of achievement that spurs you on to continue the efforts required to reach your goal. A for attainable. To be attainable, a goal must represent an objective toward which you are both willing and able to work. In other words, the goal must be realistic. The big question here is, how can the goal be accomplished? Relevance. Relevance stresses the importance of choosing goals that matter. For example, an internet entrepreneur's goal to make 75 tuna sandwiches by 2 p.m. may be specific, measurable, attainable, and timely, but lacks relevance to an entrepreneur's overarching objective of building a profitable online business. Timely. A goal must be grounded within a time frame, giving the goal a target date. A commitment to a deadline helps you focus your efforts on the completion of the goal on or before the due date. This part of the SMART goal criteria is intended to prevent goals from being overtaken by daily distractions. When you identify SMART goals that are truly important to you, you become motivated to figure out ways to attain them. You develop the necessary attitude, abilities, and skills. You can achieve almost any goal you set if you plan your steps wisely and establish a time frame that allows you to carry out those steps. Goals that once seemed far away and out of reach eventually move closer and become attainable, not because your goals shrink, but because you grow and expand to match them. The second thing that successful people do is they take decisive and immediate action. Sadly, very few people ever live to become the success story they dream about. And there's only one reason for this, very simple reason. They never take action. The acquisition of knowledge doesn't mean you're growing. Growing happens when what you know changes how you live. So many people live in a complete daze, like in a trance. Actually, they don't live, they simply get by because they never take the necessary action to make things happen, to seek their dreams. It doesn't matter if you have a genius ID and a PhD in quantum physics, or even a genius IQ. You can't change anything or make any sort of real world progress without taking action. And there's a huge difference between knowing how to do something and actually doing it. One is theory, the other is practical. Knowledge and intelligence are both useless without action. It's as simple as that. Success hinges on the simple act of making a decision to live, to absorb yourself in the process of going after your dreams and goals. So make that decision and take that action. 3, they focus on being productive, not being busy. In his book, The 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss says, slow down and remember this. Most things make no difference. Being busy is often a form of mental laziness, lazy thinking, and indiscriminate action. This is Ferriss' way of saying work smarter, not harder, which happens to be one of the most prevalent modern-day personal development cliches. But like most cliches, there's a great deal of truth to it, and few people actually adhere to it. Just take a quick look around you. You will see that the busy people far outnumber the productive people by a wide margin. Busy people are rushing all over the place and running late half of the time. They're heading to work, conferences, meetings, social engagements. They barely have enough time for themselves. They barely have enough free time for their family get-togethers. They rarely even get enough sleep. Yet, business emails are shooting out of their smartphones like machine gun bullets. And their daily planner is jammed to the brim with obligations. Their busy schedule gives them an elevated sense of importance, but it's all an illusion. They are like hamsters running on a wheel. What solution? Slow down. Breathe. Review your commitments and goals. Put first things first. Do one thing at a time. Start now. Take a short break in 2 hours. Rinse and repeat. And always remember, results are more important than the time it takes to achieve them. 4, they make logical, informed decisions. Sometimes we do things that are permanently foolish simply because we are temporarily upset or excited. Although emotional gut instincts are effective in certain fleeting situations, but when it comes to generating long-term sustained growth in any area of life, emotional decisions often lead a person astray. Decisions driven by heavy emotion typically contain minimal amounts of conscious thought and are primarily based on momentary feelings instead of mindful awareness. The best advice here is simple. Don't let your emotions trump your intelligence. Slow down and think things through before you make any life-changing decisions. The fifth thing that successful people do is they avoid the trap of trying to make things perfect. Many of us are perfectionists in our own right. I used to be one. We set high bars for ourselves and put our best foot forward. We dedicate copious amounts of time and attention to our work to maintain our high personal standards. Our passion for excellence drives us to run the extra mile, never stopping, never relenting, never quitting. And this dedication towards perfection undoubtedly helps us achieve results. so long as we don't get carried away. But what happens when we do get carried away with perfectionism? We become disgruntled and discouraged when we fail to meet the impossibly high standards we set for ourselves, making us very reluctant to take on new challenges or even finish the tasks we've already started. Our insistence on dotting every I and crossing every T breeds inefficiency, causing major delays, stress overload, and suboptimal results. True perfectionists have a hard time starting things and an even harder time finishing them, and this is always. I have a friend who has wanted to start a graphic design business for several years, but she hasn't yet. Why? When you sift through her big basket of excuses, it comes down to one simple problem. She is a perfectionist, which means she doesn't and never will think she's good enough at graphic design to own and operate her own graphic design business. Remember, the real world out there doesn't reward perfectionists. The real world rewards people who get things done. And the only way to get things done is to be imperfect 99% of the time. Only by wading through years of practice and imperfection can we begin to achieve momentary glimpses of the perfection. So make a decision, take action, learn from the outcome, and repeat this method over and over again in all walks of life. 6. They walk outside of their comfort zone. The number one thing I persistently see holding smart people back is their own reluctance to accept an opportunity simply because they don't think they're ready. In other words, they feel uncomfortable and believe they require additional knowledge, skill, or experience before they can aptly partake in the opportunity. Sadly, this is the kind of thinking that stifles personal growth and success. The truth is, nobody ever feels 100% ready when an opportunity arises, because most great opportunities in life force us to grow emotionally and intellectually. They force us to stretch ourselves and our comfort zones, which means we won't feel totally comfortable at first. And when we don't feel comfortable, we don't feel ready. Significant amounts of opportunity for personal growth and success will come and go throughout your lifetime. If you are looking to make positive changes and new breakthroughs in your life, you will need to embrace these moments of opportunity, even though you will never feel 100% ready for them. 7. They keep things simple. Leonardo da Vinci said once, "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication." Nothing could be closer to the truth. Here in the 21st century, where information moves at the speed of light and opportunities for innovation seem endless, we have an abundant array of choices when it comes to designing our lives and careers. But sadly, an abundance of choice often leads to complication, confusion, and inaction. Several business and marketing studies have shown that the more product choices a consumer is faced with, the less products they typically buy. After all, narrowing down the best product from a pool of 3 choices is certainly a lot easier than narrowing down the best product from a pool of 300 choices. If the purchasing decision is tough to make, most people will simply just give up. Likewise, if you complicate your life by inundating yourself with too many choices, your subconscious mind will simply give up. The solution to this is to simplify. If you are selling a product line, keep it simple. And if you are trying to make a decision about something in your life, don't waste all your time evaluating every last detail of every possible option. Choose something that you think will work and give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, learn what you can from the experience, choose something else, and keep pressing forward. 8. They focus on making small, continuous improvements. Henry Ford once said, "Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small pieces." The same concept configured as a question: how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. This philosophy holds true for achieving your biggest goals. Making small positive changes, like eating a little healthier, like exercising a little, like creating some small productive habits, for example, is an amazing way to get excited about life and slowly reach the level of success you aspire to. And if you start small, you don't need a lot of motivation to get started either. The simple act of getting started and doing something will give you the momentum you need, and soon you'll find yourself in a positive spiral of changes, one building on to the other. When I started doing this in my life, I was so excited I had to start this blog to share it with the world. So start with just one activity and make a plan for how you will deal with troubles when they arise. For instance, if you're trying to lose weight, come up with a list of healthy snacks you can eat when you get the craving for snacks. It will be hard in the beginning, but it will get a lot easier. And that's the whole point. As your strength grows, you can take on bigger challenges. Number 9, they measure and track their progress. Successful people are not only working in their jobs or businesses, they're also working on it. They step back and assess their progress regularly. They track themselves against their goals and clearly know what needs to be done to excel and accelerate. You can't control what you don't properly measure. If you track the wrong things, you'll be completely blind to potential opportunities as they appear over the horizon. Imagine if, while running a small business, you made it a point to keep track on how many pencils and paper clips you used. Would that make any sense? Definitely no. Because pencils and paper clips are not a measure of what's important for the business. Pencils and paper clips have no bearing on income, or customer satisfaction, or market growth. The proper approach is to figure out what your number one goal is, and then track the things that directly relate to achieving that goal. I recommend that you take some time right now to identify your number one goal. Identify the most important things for you to keep track of, and then begin tracking them immediately. On a weekly basis, plug the numbers into a spreadsheet and use the data to create weekly or monthly trend graphs so you can visualize your progress. Then fine-tune your actions to get those trends to grow in your favor. Number 10, they maintain a positive outlook as they learn from their mistakes. Successful people concentrate on the positives. They look for the silver lining in every situation, no matter how dark the cloud may be. They know that it is their positivity that will take them to greatness. If you want to be successful, you need to have a positive outlook towards life. Life will test you again and again. If you give in to internal negativity, you will never be able to achieve the marks you have targeted. Remember, every mistake you make is progress. Mistakes teach you important lessons. Every time you make one, you are one step closer to your goal. The only mistake that can truly hurt you is choosing to do nothing simply because you are too scared to make a mistake. So don't hesitate. Don't doubt yourself. Don't let your own internal negativity sabotage you. Learn what you can and press forward. 11, they spend time with the right people. Successful people associate with people who are like-minded, who are focused, and who are supportive. They socialize with people who create energy when they enter the room versus those who create energy when they leave. They reach out to connected, influential individuals who are right for their demands and goals. You are the sum of the people you spend the most time with. If you hang out with the wrong people, they will negatively affect you. But if you hang out with the right people, you will become far more capable and successful than you ever could have been alone. So find your tribe and work together to make a difference in all of your lives. Number 12, they maintain balance in their lives. If you ask most people to summarize what they want out of life, they will shoot out a list of things like fall in love, make more money, spend time with family, find happiness, go on vacation, achieve goals. and all that. But sadly, a lot of people don't balance their life properly to achieve these things. Typically, they achieve one or two of them while completely neglecting the rest. Let me give you two examples. I know an extremely savvy businesswoman who made almost $1 million online last year. Based on the success of her business, every entrepreneur I know looks up to her. But guess what? A few days ago, out of the blue, she shot me an email that says she is depressed. Why? I am burnt out and lonely. I just haven't taken enough time for myself lately, and I feel like something is missing in my life, she said. Wow, I thought. One of the most successful people I know doesn't feel successful because she isn't happy with how she has balanced her life. I also know a surfer who surfs all day, every day on the beach in front of our condo complex in San Diego. Yes, he's one of the most light-hearted, optimistic guys I've ever met, usually smiling from ear to ear. But he sleeps in a rusty van he co-owns with another surfer, and they both frequently panhandle tourists for money. He has admitted to me that the stress of making enough money to eat often keeps him up late at night. So while I can't deny that this man seems happy most of the time, I wouldn't classify his life as a success story. These are just two simple examples of imbalanced lifestyles that are holding people back from their full potential. When you let your work life, or social life, or family life, or religious life, whatever life consume you, and all your energy is focused in that area, it's extremely easy to lose focus and then lose your balance. Why drive and focus are important if you're going to get things done right, but be truly successful, you need to balance the various dimensions of your life. The financial dimension, the work dimension, the family dimension, the social dimension, the religious dimension. You need to balance them to have a balance in your life. Completely neglecting one dimension for another only leads to long-term frustration and stress. Would you like to be successful? Then take a look at this list again. Consider them point by point. Don't just consider them, put them into use. And so until I come your way again, this is Morning Vibes with Dr. Jerry the First. This program is powered by Top Media and Communication Nigeria. All rights reserved. Thank you for listening to this broadcast today. It would please us to no end if you continue to visit our podcast. And so to be able to do that, kindly click on the red subscribe button towards your right to subscribe to our channel. In the same vein, also click on the bell beside the subscribe button so that you can always receive the notification for any new podcast we upload. Also give us a thumb up to like these podcasts. These help us to grow. And do help us share the podcast to your friends in the different social media sites you belong to. Click on the share tab just below the podcast and share directly from there. The full text of this podcast is on our blog, and would you want to read it, kindly visit the blog. We have a Facebook page where we also post our podcast on a daily basis. If you're on Facebook, kindly like our Facebook page. The links to our blog and our Facebook page are in the description box right below. Thank you for your attention. Do have a very nice day.